Yes, I've got questions. And we're not going to get started with that tonight, I don't believe, but we're going to have a committee of the whole meeting in the next couple of weeks to get into the details on this. My concern with this from the taxpayer standpoint and from our job is to watch out for the taxpayer is if we do go through with this sale, what are the assurances that we have that this project's going to come to fruition? What happens if we get halfway through the project and we've sold this parking lot, which we all know parking is sparse downtown. It's something that we have to have. What happens if the project goes belly up? Does he maintain that property? Do we get it back? These are things that I want to look at the contract that we'll ultimately do with the Port Authority and the Port Authority to the contractor to make sure that the citizens of Findlay are safe and that will be covered in the event of a project that doesn't go through.
I would agree. I would definitely vote in favor of the project, but I would have many of the same concerns that have been expressed. And parking is primary. That's the first thing that I talked about when we were given a somewhat of an advanced look at what this might be. We have to maintain the parking. If we lose one more space on Main Street downtown, the community will probably come up in an uprising. That has got to be guaranteed. And as Jeff said, we need an ironclad agreement that we will do what we intend to do on the project.
I think that if the parking lot that the city owns would ever go out of the hands of the city, I think that we need a lot of information. It generates revenue for the city. So if we no longer have that, that goes to the parking enforcement. If we don't no longer have that, we'll even be able to afford parking enforcement. I also, if the city were to no longer have it, I think that a public auction is the only acceptable way to do it, to make the property available to everyone. That would be the fair thing to do. I would hate to see a precedent set where the housing authority takes over the property and the city it shows favoritism towards one developer. I think that the public auction would be the best way to go. And if we set a precedent for that, what's to happen with where the Hostetler building is on Main Cross? Is that also going to be given away to whatever developer wants to spend the most money? So,
what exciting news. $31 million development in downtown. We've been working on the Argyle block ever since it burnt. And yeah, there's a lot of questions to be answered. And we would not sell the parking lot until we are guaranteed that the project is going to go forward. Jeff raises very good points about assurances that once started, once the parking lot is taken out of commission, that the project does complete. We have, I think, about 58 spots in the current parking lot. 25 to 30 of them have long-term leases and are not available for public use. In the new facility, I believe they're talking 52 to 55 spaces available for public use. I do not believe it would have to be determined if we would use the long-term leases on those. I'd see it as a net gain for parking for downtown.